Well, hello. My name's Dave Mulvaney, and today I'm going to talk about selling your home after the listing expires. It's a pretty common thing these days that your house doesn't always sell, and for many people, they don't know what to do. So I'm going to take a few minutes and discuss the topic in depth, and really kind of see what your options are. So let's look at some details on the sale of your house. Now, granted, this is an illustration, but today I'm going to talk about a $500,000 house. So you purchased the house in 2007 for 372 grand. So you've had it 10 years. But back then you took out a mortgage for 335,000 at 4.5% for 30 years, payable at $2,200 a month, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Now in 2016, you and your wife are ready to downsize. You list the house for sale, and at a $500,000, but it doesn't sell. Now you hired a trusted real estate agent. You did everything that she said to do. You painted, you cleaned the carpets, you cleaned all the windows, showers, made everything look nice, did the landscaping, you had the house properly staged, you did everything, but it didn't sell. Now, if you didn't do all that, that could be a reason why your house didn't sell. But let's say you did, and again, the house didn't sell. The scenario is actually extremely common, especially above what we call the jumbo mark. Jumbo loans, $417,000. I know they're moving it up here, but that's what loans in excess of that. There's reasons for that, by the way. So why did your home fail to sell? It's a question you're probably asking yourself. Well, there's many reasons it didn't sell. These aren't all in a specific order, but I will tell you one of the number one reasons is your house is priced above market value. Now, that's everything will sell at a price if it's worth value. So the most common reason, it's just priced above market value. Sometimes your house looks a little dated, or it needs a little TLC. The paint colors aren't right, or the smells in the home aren't appealing, or maybe the appliances are a little bit dated or old, or maybe buyers are really selective in your specific market, or the timing is poor. If your house is above that $500,000 mark, though, the buyer pool is really small, and so let's consider the buyer pool of buyers in the marketplace. Now, I'm not talking about just $500,000 houses, buyers of homes that are in the marketplace. A vast majority of buyers in the marketplace cannot qualify for a mortgage. And so, a small percentage of them can. But when you move above that jumbo loan mark, you move to the $500,000 house or $1 million house, your market of buyers, the amount of people who can actually qualify for that market is so small that you're only trying to appeal to maybe 2% of all the buyers in the marketplace. It's such a small market. So because of that, you list your house for $500,000, and let's say there's 20 houses for sale in that price range. Well, there might be one buyer in the market. He's going to look at him and his wife are going to look at all 20 of those houses, and they're going to pick the one they like best out of that. So they're extremely selective, and there's just not enough buyers in that market always that make every home in a marketplace ready to sell. And so, but when you move up into that higher price marketplace, the inspections cost more, and because of it, they're far more stringent. The inspector wants to justify his pay to his client, so he's going to make sure that the person selling the house is going to make repairs. Another very complex issue when your house is above a $500,000 mark is they tend to have unique features. And those unique features are phenomenal to look at, or they might be very appealing in a lot of different ways, but sometimes they're hard to appraise. It's hard to determine the value of pavers on the pool deck. It's hard to determine. I mean, sure, there's a cost to it, but what does it mean on the sale market and houses in that price range? It may not have a dollar value. So appraisals can tend to come in low for various items, all because they're unique features, but yet they don't help the appraisal. And so they sometimes come in low. So you get a choice: drop your price or don't sell the house to that individual if they're going to not accept it, because the bank isn't going to give them more money if their appraisal is low. So, but then let's say you had all those things going for you, and then now somebody falls in love with your house and they say, yeah, but we just have to sell our house first. So they got to sell their home before they can buy yours. So it makes it very complex. And these are challenges buyers are facing. So once again, you purchase your home for $350,000, you took out a mortgage for $335,000, your payment's $2,200 a month, and now you list it and you've had it for 10 years, but now you're ready to downsize and you list your house for $500,000 and it doesn't sell. So what are your options? Well, let's look at some options. These are not in any particular order, but in terms of value or what have you. But you relist your home. So your listing expired. You go back to maybe you go to a different real estate agent. You put the house back on the market. Well, the first thing they're going to do is tell you to reduce the price, and of course you should, because that's one of the most common reasons. So instead of selling at $500, you're going to start at $479. You're going to move from there. And so option two, you could take the house off the market. You could stay there a couple more years. 12 or 24 months. Option three, sell the house yourself for sale by owner. So now you're going to take out that real estate commission. So you're going to drop your price to take out that commission. But as a for sale by owner, the odds of selling the house go down dramatically. However, people do sell their house for sale by owner, and it is a viable option. But it's challenging because you have to be the one. Most of us have careers, and especially as you're in higher priced houses, the ability to spend the time necessary to be at the house to show it, that can be a real challenge. Now, option four is sell it to us through a lease purchase agreement. Now, I'm gonna explain how that works, but we're gonna go into all these options. The option five is just to stay in the house, don't sell it. I mean, you've been there for 10 years. I mean, you could stay. That is an option. Sometimes it's not an option. Sometimes you're living in a 2-story house and you're getting older and you want to have 1 story. There are sometimes that staying in the home is not an option. And that's a real thing that people deal with in the marketplace. So let's look at each one of these options in detail. Option one, relist the house. Get a different broker, relist the house. First thing they recommend, listing it at a lower price. So you start at $479.9. Let's say you get an offer. Let's say $455 and you settle at $462,000. You're going to pay out a real estate commission, $23,000. You're going to pay your closing cost. Repairs. Remember that inspector I talked about? That inspector is always going to find repairs, especially on a $500,000 house. They're paid to do that. So they're going to find things. You're going to have to repair them. $3,200. Yeah, you made 3 more payments, $2,200 a month, and so you made 3 more payments, $6,600, and now your loan payoff is $266, $218. So you get to keep $153,600. Option two, sell the house yourself. Do it for sale by owner. It's a good option. Take out that real estate commission, drop the price down to $465. But this time, let's say somebody makes an offer to you, $440, you settle at $445. Now you don't pay that real estate commission. Still got closing costs. Still got that inspector is going to find all that stuff that you got to fix. But it's going to take you longer for sale by owner to sell the house. So instead of 3 additional payments, you're going to make 6 additional payments, $13,200. You're there 3 months longer, so your payoff's a little less, $264. And now your net is $155,672. So about $2,000 more. Not a whole lot, but it's a little bit more. Option three, take the house off the market for a couple years. So we're going to use 2 years, 24 months. So now the price might have gone up. That's always a possibility. 2 years from now, your price may go up. So now you list it at $525, and let's say the market's really hot. Somebody makes you an offer for $510,000. You settle at $515. Pay out your real estate commission, closing costs, same jerk inspector, found all that stuff. But you made another 24 months of payments, $52,800. But your loan payoff is lower. Of course it is, because you're there 24 months. Now your net's $171,500. So that's quite a bit. That's $15,000 more. Now let's look at option four. Sell it to us with a lease purchase agreement or a delayed closing, often referred to as a delayed closing. Your listing price, $500,000. Actual sale price, $500,000. You got no closing cost. Your loan payoff, your loan payoff, whatever it is today, when we make an agreement with you, that's the amount that's going to get paid off by us when we do a delayed closing, and the net to you is $231,700. A lease purchase allows you to lock in that profit today on a delayed close. It's a great way, a great option for you to uh, to sell this house. With the only time this wouldn't work is if you need all the cash today. So let's look at the option comparisons. Option one, net to seller, 154 grand. The difference between a lease purchase, 231,700, and option one is 78,000 bucks. That's 78,000 less in your pocket. How much do you need to, option two, 76,000 less in your pocket. The for sale by owner, that, you make a little more money. So you stay there 2 more years. Option three. So your net to seller to you is almost $172,000, but still $60,000 less than doing a lease purchase agreement with us. And so, so whatever amount of time has to transpire for us to bring put a buyer into that house that's going to bring this thing to closing is going to net you that extra 60,000. If it takes 24 months or 36 months, that's an extra $20,000 a year. This is how money is made in real estate. If you don't need to cash out today, you can lock in a higher profit amount. It's money working for you. It's money that you have there. If you've already moved on and bought your next house, then this is a great way for you to lock in capital and defer capital gains tax. So what's a lease purchase? Well, a lease purchase is a creative way for you to sell your home and get at or very close to your asking price, and it's often referred to as a delayed closing. The only time a lease purchase won't work for you is if you need all of your equity in cash today to move to your next house, or you need all your equity for whatever reason, but you need it in cash today. If that's the case, a lease purchase is not for you. If it's not the case, this could be a viable way for you to make substantially higher profits on the sale of your house. So a lease purchase allows you to lock in a higher price now, regardless of market fluctuations. The price goes down, you've already locked in your profits. All expenses, including principal, interest, taxes, insurance, maintenance, they're all covered by us. You no longer have to worry about the sale of your home. We take care of everything. And again, this allows you to delay capital gains taxes. So it's likely that you have questions. I know what you're going through. My wife and I, we built a dream house back in 2009, and we went to sell it. It took us 2.5 years to sell it a few years back. And when we went to sell it, because we're downsizing, both my kids are going off to, one's off and another one going off to college. So we wanted to downsize a little, and it took us 2.5 years. I left a ton of money on the table. If I had known this was a possibility, then, and I've been investing in real estate since 1992. So if I had known that this was an option back then, I could have really capitalized and made a much better amount on the sale of our house. So what this gives you the opportunity to do is to really use creative techniques to capitalize on getting the maximum dollar value for your home. Now, I'm sure you do have more questions. You can contact me at dave@bdmproperties.com. BDM is Beth Dave Mulvaney, properties.com, bdmproperties.com. So it's Dave at BDM Properties, and I look forward to hearing from you.